Hey y'all, hey, this is Evangelist KT here, and I am here with KT Reads. I'm so glad that y'all join me. I'm glad that y'all are book lovers like me, and I have been on this January journey with The Oracle by Jonathan Cahn. This book here is a book that I am so excited about. I'm so excited about what this book actually represented for me at the beginning of this year. All of last year, well, I won't say all of last year, probably about October-ish, September, October-ish, God had beginning to deal with me about the new year and how it's going to be the year of Jubilee. And then all of a sudden, this book came about and how it was all about Jewish culture and history and what God had in store for his people in bringing them back to Jerusalem and declaring the year of Jubilee over the nation, etc., etc. It was a really, really good read. I read this book in a companionship with Audible. I was on Audible and I would listen to it while I was going to work and things like that. And I also read the hard copy as well, just to kind of get a perspective. But I love that it was on Audible, and I love reading, the hard copy along with the audio version. And so I wanted to tell y'all about it. It's called The Oracle, The Jubilean Mysteries Unveiled by Jonathan Cahn. Now, let's talk about some pros and some cons, because y'all know I like to keep the video a little bit short so that you can, get your tidbits but not get too much to where it ruins the story. All right, so the book itself talks about the year of Jubilee and how it actually had significance to the Jewish culture and how it goes all the way back to biblical times where God declared the year of Jubilee every so often. And this story, I say story because the way that he gives historical facts is in story form. And so that way you're not just reading, in 1922 and 1875, you're not just reading historical points and tidbits, but it's telling you how our history here as America ties into history over in Jerusalem and with the nation of Israel. And so it was very, very informative, but it was written in the form of a story and a journey. And I love the Audible version because you can hear the different voices, you can hear the inflection in the voices, and it just came across and it made the book come alive, in my opinion. It made the book come alive. So that's what I loved about it. All right. Now, what I didn't like about it, well, I shouldn't say didn't like, I'll say pros and cons. My pros was the fact that it kept me interested because it kept me talking about or kept me listening to different avenues and different ways that God strategically worked in order to bring these things to pass, and how even now in 2025, our history is still being lived out, but God already has the plans and he already has his purpose for our lives. And so I love that about the book. Now, one of my cons, I should say, is that to me, it began to be a little bit repetitive because I felt like some of the story and the storyline could have been a little bit more succinct and could have come together a little bit, a little bit better. So I didn't like that part of it because I felt like towards the middle of the book, it got a little bit repetitive, and I'm like, okay, let's carry this story forward. I kind of got a little antsy towards the middle of the book, but it was still worth the read. It was definitely worth it. And I got so much information and I learned so much by the book. So I really recommend it. I'll say I'll give it about 3.5 out of 5 of my book stars, I should say. 3.5 out of 5 books. And I am so glad that I read it. I hope you guys take this journey as well whenever you're reading it, and get it on the audio version, get it in the hard, the hard book as well. I got mine from Amazon and it was well worth it. That's my 2 cents. That's my journey with the Oracle. And next month's journey is going to be by Watchman Nee, called The Spiritual Man. And I am so glad to read that one, but we're going to be talking about that in February. So I will let y'all go. I love you. Talk to you later.